Hi, I'm John Bosquet-Morra, and we are standing here in front of my workshop, which is a Carpenter Gothic church here in Stuyvesant, New York, built around 1884. And it's time to finally get around to painting it. So to do that, I wanted to get the best possible contraption for removing paint that was both effective and safe, key word. So I have here the standard speed heater 1100, the real deal, made in Sweden, which is the best possible paint removing gadget you can find today. I'm going to give some demonstrations on how I use it, and then in a few minutes I'm going to show how my wife and I sometimes work together on this project to make it even easier and faster and even more fun, of course. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn it on. And to do that, first you must plug it in, obviously. Okay, now when you turn it on, you cannot set it on the ground like this. You obviously have to set it down so it's pitched at an angle like this. It needs only about 2 minutes to heat up, and then you're ready to go. Before you start to scrape an area, you should first condition the area you're going to scrape with a mixture of linseed oil and mineral spirits. And you'll need 1 part mineral spirits to 5 part linseed oil. And then once this has been dry for a day, then you're ready to go. If it goes longer, it's fine too. But you should not do it right away. You should definitely let it sit for a day so that it gets behind the wood and makes kind of a pocket so that it's easier to take off the paint. Now, you don't have to worry about fumes from the 1100 here, but it's a good idea anyway to wear a respirator or a mask, either way, just in case, who knows. So I'm not at all worried about it. Also, safety goggles are a good idea. So I'll put those on, put on my respirator. See, I've switched over to my my 3M M90 mask because now you can hear me. As far as basic technique, my heater's nice and hot now. All right, I'm gonna put it on a spot right here. And what I like to do is I like to put it here, and then I like to look inside like this, down the channel, and when it starts bubbling, I know I'm ready to go. Now the heater has a sweet spot, which is towards the middle of the heater. Towards the very ends, it doesn't get as hot. And by the way, the time that you need for it to start bubbling is going to depend on, I'm getting all fogged up. It's going to depend on how much paint is there, how old the paint is, how loose it is, everything else. Okay, so I'm gonna go check again. It's already bubbling really severely, and so I'm gonna move it down here. And when I pull, what you wanna do is pull with the grain. Now, I've done that much. It's not quite enough that I've taken off, so I'm sliding it back. I'm looking underneath, just checking it out, see how it's going. I'm looking in now, I'm seeing it starting to bubble. It's bubbling up nicely. I'll give it a second longer. This is a lot of old paint. And pull. I've just removed a little bit of paint right here on this little section. You'll see that this is basically bare wood. Right here, even though there's a little bit of paint left, it's very smooth here. Remember to try to pull with the grain like this. Don't go across like that so you don't make any gouges. If you look down here, I've put down plastic, which is very important because you don't want these pieces contaminating the ground. You want to be able to sweep them up, and when you do that, you should wear a respirator. And that way you're sure that you're not getting any of this into the groundwater. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how my wife Isabel and I will use this contraption to make the job go even faster and easier, and that way we can trade off the task of holding it and then while the other person scrapes. Now I'm up here with my wife Isabel, who is sporting this beautiful 3M M90 mask and her safety goggles. I'm going to be wearing these and my respirator, but I'm going to show you now how we can do this together and save a little time and effort. And also this way you can switch off. One person who gets tired of holding the heater can switch over to scraping or vice versa. So go ahead, love. So what's happening is she's holding it, and the person who's going to be doing the scraping looks down underneath the heater to see how it's going. And remember, the heater does have a sweet spot towards the middle. Towards the end, it's not quite as hot. So what she's going to do in just a second, she's going to slide it that way just a little bit. I'm going to scrape a certain section right here. There's the section that I just scraped. Okay, love, move it a little bit that way now. Okay, now I'm going to do this right here. Okay, now go back towards me a little bit again. So that's what happens is you have to back it up a little bit again. I'm looking down here, down the channel to see how it's going. A little bit back towards me, I think, a tiny bit. There we go. Or again, favor that sweet spot towards the middle of the heater. I think we're about ready. Go ahead, love. And right here, nice one. There is a learning curve with this appliance. Sorry. There is a learning curve with using a handheld device too. But after a while, so for instance, I consider that perfectly reasonable amount of paint, but you can see sometimes more comes off than others. Okay, go ahead, love. Slide a little bit. And wham. Back up a little bit. There you go. Okay, a little bit more. Okay. Why are we doing it this way? It's simple. Having two people, I mean, you can talk about baseball or talk about Vivaldi, whatever you want to talk about, and this way you get to change off roles and not get as tired. Okay, go ahead and move it, love. There we go. Okay, go back a little. Maybe back a tiny bit more. There we go. Okay. When you start to see smoke, that's sometimes water vapor in the wood. It's not always burning wood, so don't be afraid. Go ahead, love. And we got a little bit more done that time. So this amount of paint here is very smooth. Go ahead and move down a little bit more. We got some big bubbles there. This scraper works best on the pole, but you can push it a little bit. And there we are. So that's the basic technique. So this has been John Bosquet-Morra and his wife Isabel enjoying the wonderful Speed Heater 1100 and the Speed Heater scraper. Signing off. Thanks for watching.